Kevin Sidebottom here, speaker, author, and trainer. And I go around and teach sales organizations and leadership teams how to build trust, grow their business so that profits go up and revenues are increased. Today, let's talk about why we need leadership in our organization. Why do we need someone called a leader? Well, here's the deal. If you have a whole bunch of people in an organization and not somebody kind of getting everybody charted on a course, it's kind of like sailing a ship but not having any destination in mind. Where are you going to go? And if you don't have everybody getting led by somebody of who should do what, well, then the ship's actually just going to sit there and not move. We need to be moving forward. That's what leaders actually do. They give guidance. They help chart the course. They move everybody forward. And see, we need to constantly be growing in our leadership capacity and helping other people grow as well, because something will happen. Either the leader will go to another organization, they'll decide that they need to retire, they get hit by a bus, something's going to happen, and that leader's not going to be there all day, every day for the rest of your life. So we need to be growing ourselves and the people around us constantly, because if we're not learning and growing, well, then we're dying. We don't want to be a part of an organization that's dying because there's no benefit in the long run. So what can we do to increase our capacity? We're going to talk about that today in this video, how to increase ourselves just a little bit each and every day. Because we don't want to take these gigantic steps because chances are we'll miss something. By taking these little small incremental steps, we will grow. And that's why I say constantly grow, so you're not trying to jump and then relax, then jump. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. Tortoise always wins when you read that book because he takes the small incremental steps, one at a time. Okay? So let's dive into what we can do to help increase our capacity. Well, the first thing we need to do is do at least one training a year. That's right. We need to invest in ourselves and our teams to grow. What can we do at least once a year? Can we go to a conference? Can we have somebody come in that teaches other organizations how to grow and whatnot in a specific area to help our team? What is it that we can do to constantly be growing? And so we need to bring the teams together. But here's what we need to be doing after that training or whatever it is we do. We need to have a debrief. That's right. We need to sit down and talk about what we just learned, give some insight. What are the positives that we learned about this? What can we take away? What can we apply to our team and our business? Focus on the positives of what one thing or two things we can do. Don't sit there and say, well, there's a whole laundry list of stuff we can do, because we won't accomplish anything if we focus on the whole list. Focus on one or two things, and you guys will move forward. Constantly be growing. But having these debriefs has been proven to work. To give you an instance, the Navy SEALs, who are the most efficient warriors out there, they go out there and move, and you just be like, wow, they're so fast and they work well together. Well, they go and practice and then debrief. Practice, debrief. Practice, debrief. All elite teams do that as well. Football teams will actually go and watch game film to see what happened. They want to debrief and see where they had mistakes, how they can pivot, how they can adjust so they can move forward faster the next time. That's what we need to be doing with our teams. We got to have debriefs, okay? The second thing we need to do is either do books or podcasts to supplement that one-time training. We need to constantly be adding value, and by having conversations about a book topic or a podcast, at least like 5 or 10 minutes a week to discuss with our teams to help them grow, well, now we're taking more incremental little steps on how we can add more tools to our toolbox and get better. And then the third thing we need to be doing is actually doing live fire testing to see how we're doing. So we need to place all of our people in leadership positions. And it doesn't mean that everybody gets to be a CEO for a week. What it means is, hey, this person's really skilled at this area and can lead people here. Let's place them in that area and give them a shot. when it comes time for an open position? Well, we can also go and lead different groups. Maybe it's outside of our business or organization and we're leading like a church group or Habitat for Humanity group. Whatever it is, we need to be growing ourselves intentionally and doing these tasks. It's kind of like water skiing. You don't learn how to water ski just by reading a book. You get out there and do it, and you drown yourself quite a few times before you get up on the water ski. But we have to learn how to do something. We need this hands-on. That's how stuff really gets ingrained into our mind, and how we really learn is really diving in and getting our hands dirty. So we need to be doing these things, okay? Now, here's a final thing that a lot of sales organizations and leadership people do is they cast this great vision and they overcommit all the stuff that we're going to do, and they typically underproduce. Not intentionally, it just happens. They have these grand plans. Well, here's what I typically do. I typically take a little bit more conservative approach, and I undercommit and overproduce. I like doing this because I want to go in there and set some expectations of, hey, this project's going to take me a certain amount of time. I'm going to add a little bit of float to it, a couple extra days. So if I hit those days, great. But if I come in and overachieve and hit it on the dates that I was hoping for, well, now I've overachieved. You do this enough and people go, wow, this person's actually looking like a rock star. They're hitting all their dates ahead of time. They're doing things great. We need to start looking at what they're doing. Well, it's simple. We take a little bit conservative approach. Now, I'm not saying that you undercommit to anything and don't commit to anything. We need to actually commit and hold ourselves accountable, but we can't sit there and say, this is going to be the newest thing, and it's going to increase our capacity, and everybody's going to do great things with it, when it's just taking a knife and sharpening it just a little bit. Okay, a knife can't unscrew a Phillips screw, right? We need to make sure that we're cognizant in that what we're committing to is actually actionable. But we don't sit there and get in paralysis where we don't do anything, okay? I hope this video has been helpful. If you like it, hit like, subscribe, share it with somebody, help people learn. That's why I do these videos. If you need to reach me, my contact information is below. And we'll see you next time.